When people talk about breast cancer, they talk about hope. They talk about scars and treatment, medications. They talk about the loss of hair. They talk about how challenging it is. But what they don't talk about is money. They don't talk about how expensive breast cancer is, or how your money runs out before your cancer's gone. People don't talk about that, but we do. At the Breast Cancer Support Fund, we reduce the financial burden of breast cancer patients and help them focus on treatment and recovery. Daniela was the first person to contact the Breast Cancer Support Fund more than 12 years ago. Daniela was a single mom of a teenager who had major health problems of her own. Daniela was still paying off loans from the first time she was diagnosed, when she was diagnosed for the second time about 3 years later. Her second diagnosis coincided with my second diagnosis of breast cancer. And so we poured over research together. I went with her to oncology appointments, and we became very good friends. And as you know, amazing things happen when women support women. I remember the first check I wrote to a breast cancer patient. It was more than 12 years ago. And I don't really remember what I felt when I wrote it. And I know that I didn't know that I would be still writing checks to breast cancer patients 12 years later. I remember so many of the women we've supported over the years. I remember the first woman that we supported who had metastatic breast cancer. She was a very successful businesswoman, but she was in treatment for many years. She had to close her business, eventually had to sell her home. And then she ended up living on a disability pension and couldn't really afford to live on her own, so she lived with very good friends. Her name was Joy.